fine margins between this going wrong for either of these two teams in 4-5s and Alula. So not wanting to risk it too much. Meanwhile, OG crossing past the crosshairs of Nongshim Red Force with Zizzy taking the peak over the top. Got the heavy weaponry ready to rock them if they stay close by. And luckily they have at least been able to create some space between the two. Double back over to the bridge where Rolf is stationed.
Yeah, they know OG's in the area as well. See, Aaron struggled versus them earlier on his flying maneuver into the gas station. Tried to go for the movie entrance, but we went straight to credits instead. Yeah, Ulf hoping to hold them on the bridge side. Next circle, though, I'm feeling the pizza slice here over towards the west. I mean, Aurora currently have a really strong position on it, and we do head over there, in fact. But it's like a case of Aurora holding the central spot. They have a lot of 360 vision, but it's very open, Jackie. This is a very, very open area, a little bit unfun. There's quite a few radio towers and the square concretes that sit underneath them that end up being like where you play. You literally just lie down next to them, try and set up vehicles. You can see Vitality already sending over. But this is quite a nice spot for Aurora. It's a tiny bit of hard cover, a little bit of a crescent lit behind them as well.
And that's the last man from Enigma Galaxy, and Ralph trying to stay alive for as long as he can, but finally falls to S2G. S2G possibly being collapsed upon as well by 4-5s. They fall next.
Yeah, good fight. Very good fight from 4-5s. S2G tried to jump the gun there, Jackie, and ran straight into titanium wall. A lot of hopes riding on these three players from Aurora, though. Another good game here. Sits them a little bit further ahead. Make up for that previous match there on Arundel. Not the greatest of pushes across the bridge to begin.
To be fair, with Nigma and S2G going down early, not really acclimating too many points on this one. It could be the dream recovery for Aurora if they can keep it up. Unfortunately for Godlike, Adamino unable to withstand the hit that is thrown towards him. Furia will get their mates back up and live on to fight on this one. 4 of our squads out of the running into the 3rd game so far.
Nongshim on that south side, actually trying to push on in, but there's quite a few teams there. Nongshim's just gonna barge over towards OG. A tanky's already down. Another nade towards the backside here. Good damage from Hyunbin, as always. Looking very, very strong. Hits the deck. Good dodge on that. Second nade's a bit stronger, though. Aru now needs to get back into action. The rest of Nongshim Red Force lagging behind as Flash still continues to create a little bit of a nuisance for them in tops.
Back and forth blows, but Orangutan still being able to withstand. Uncomfortable for Nongshim, actually, man. Yeah, that's a nice flick back up towards the Wizard Tower, and it keeps him pinned in position, so he can't provide too much Overwatch.
He's in a bad spot now. I mean, no position to help the rest of his team. It's a cool side swipe coming through from tops as well. Caused so many problems on the back line there for Nongshim Red Force. Just weren't quite quick enough. He's going to have an even deeper look into this one. He wants to get up close and personal, investigate. Potentially some more eliminations here left at the crime scene.
He's still trying to get an angle on this. The minute you got to move, he'll be ready for the catch. And Furia over on the other side of the coast have been taking shots over as well, so it's all been a little bit uncomfortable for the 4 squads that have been collapsing in onto that one position. This gas station for OG somehow being a very formidable defensive area.
Oh. Calling it from zone 3 there. I got a little bit lucky, but yeah, Aurora in a really, really good spot now. This is definitely redeemable city here for Aurora. We just need to not see them go for something silly again. That is all.
Yeah, just keep their cards close to their chest and be able to close this one out with some good plays. To be honest, mate, that is kind of the dream with what we saw off the back of this game with the other squads above them falling out early. It has presented that opportunity, and like you say, if they can grab it, you've recovered from that. We can all forget about game two. Everything looks good for them, and they'd actually be on that podium spot in first place come the end of this game. That's still in the future, still good shot on. The Farlak, a little bit more they can do here.
I like that though. Good smoke. Oh, it was a to kind of isolate this engagement between them and 4 Thrives in the arena on the northern edge. Makes a ton of sense to me as well. That vitality location is going to be a real problem for you. That's a long nade. Ooh. Actually hits on target. Great damage, and they just keep on pumping in. 4 Thrives are out. But yeah, I mean, that's some massively long nades on that one.
Just chaining them together as well, one after another, after another. They want to go in to grab the bits, drop the smoke, try and stay alive. Issue is you're now in a position where other teams can take shots onto you for free.
Yeah. Good. I mean, Doc is holding on. He is holding on. I think he's got that mentality where it's like, well, I'm sorry guys, I ran out that time. I will play anchor for the rest of the day, and I will keep you lads safe. It's a good shot over towards Silence. The rest of Fury, you need to re-angle over towards it, but it takes a gun away from that western side. But Aurora had to do that. They had to push over towards 4 Thrives. They knew that it's not likely in the near future they're going to be getting many more death crates, and they need that util. They need that ammo to carry on inside of this match. Tiamba though looming off in the wings.
Had to restock and get themselves ready for what's yet to come. Tiamba, they've been doing a pretty effective job of harassing a lot of our other squads from distance as well throughout the past couple minutes, keeping pressure on them. Playing a little bit safer here in their setup. Window peak with good eye line onto some of the other teams. Scarface on the long wrap around back up the coastal ridge over towards the bridge side, going to be coming in from the back near Vitality and Flash. This is his angle on the move. Ooh, spotted out. Starting to lose his HP bit by bit. Got to drop down to the deck. Can hope that he can hold on.
Kind of unsure how he's lived this long. I mean, Tops has got to know someone's mover here, the pitter-patter of the footfall. Close the distance. Scarface is instead just going to go for the heel. Tops pulls the pin. He should know. It should be right on the edge of the blue here. Good air burst will do the trick. Ruins the amount of... Came through there. Aura from the sidelines, though, will get sleepy and...
Arc it round the corner. Ooh. Eagles crossing his fingers, hoping the smoke is enough to get the pick-up play back on A-King to stay alive.
I wonder if they're going to push this, Jackie.
I mean, with a molly, you could. You get the spread on it, just try follow up off the back. You know they're weak.
Oh, man, I think they just wanted to get the flush, at least, but not meant to be. That's a lot of nades invested there for basically nothing. A-King's going to send back one of his own. Now they're fully set up over here on the radio tower. From Molotovs, we have a bit more damage done. Chip damage from the nades should be good enough. So start to bombard now. They're splitting the difference on these ones. They know they have to go for one side, and it is over towards Dog. Survives the first blaster shrapnel and should survive the second.
So many nades though, and Doc, although the shrapnel hits him in the face, he takes that peek and shuts one player down once again. 6 nades thrown out for no real follow-up from it. So it goes both ways for either of these two teams. Top with the instant adjustment back over onto E Arena. No, he's being collapsed upon from 2 sides between this team.
Shreps now get the res on of E-Arena. E-Arena, you know, actually haven't been too bad. I think for the points they currently have, it's 19, but they've been consistently up towards at least the top 8 every game. Vitality still taking more shots here. Tiamba is the one to take down tops. Tiamba's playing as a 4-man, and genuinely the way they weather the storm here versus Aurora, they have a place to play inside the circle going forward. It's more about dealing with the couple of players inside of that shack right there, and it's hard to line up those nades past the side. Always have that angle of Doc to worry about. He is so critical to his other 2 teammates living.
Schweppes with a bit of a forward scout play in the buggy, reading onto it. QZZ was knocked towards the backside. Thing is though, they've been here for so long and they've invested so many nades, so many bullets that they're starting to run dry and can't actually push out to get themselves anything. Availability of crates becoming an all-time premium. The longer this goes on, the worse it gets for Tiamba.
Yeah, they needed a break, honestly, and that break was going to come in, be able to get those shots, get those nades over towards Aurora. E-Arena making a massive swing. Mormon's got 5 nades to play around with too. QZZ finds shots over towards Vitality. They are trying to stop 2 teams from squeezing them together. But they will. This is a good play. This is actually a good play. It's a desperation play, but it's one that's very much needed for Tiamba right now as A-King moves in. Razak last step alive. Where's the rest of the team? QZZ moves up. How is Razak living this?
Oh, this is unbelievable. Razak raising hell amidst the chaos as he stands strong to punish back. Vitality looked like it was all said and done, but they pop off on that one against Tiamba's clash in, knowing they needed to shut them down to get themselves any sort of ammunition, any kind of supplies to play on. And it does not work how they wanted.
Wild stuff. The arena now. Send some nades in. Joel's the first to fall off the back of that. They have just played this game nice and slow from that northern side, trying not to get too involved in things. They've been saving up these nades for that end game. Mormon will move in and just completely cleans them out. This guy's been unbelievable with the S12K today.
Finishes off the stragglers. Other Joker looks to wrap over to see if he can save his mate and put them back into an equal situation. 3 versus 4 right now. Schweppes warding off Ayala.
Igor's Mormon still coming out strong. He wants more on the game, and they are delivering. Igor's down, big player on the squad. Now it's time for the likes of Ayala as well as Chief to stand up tall. E-Arena, they saved all their potential up for that late game, though. We saw how much ammo they still had more, how many smokes they still had remaining. His team basically played this one out for the chicken dinner. For E-Arena, it's sort of not worth it unless they get the chicken dinner on this one. The amount they saved up, 5 nades still in the hand of Schweppes. Getting a second place is nice, though. But yeah, it's this open ground, disgusting to work with. Furia is lining up for a big old bombardment from E-Arena. In the near future, though.
This pop-off play.
Igor, he's just providing all the information back all the time. Chief moves up over towards the loot crate. The nade has to be invested. Don't use that on that. Yeah, good. I was thinking that he was going to send it over towards Igor's. But he is just calling every single time they pull the pin on this one. When to move and when not to. Finally, the play zone takes him out, and Fury is blind again.
You lose your eyes in the back line and have to rely on your gun skill now. A standoff between these two teams with open space in front of them. waiting to be crunched forth. Silence with the big guns in the back line, ready to spray. A lot of nades invested, dashing them in towards the middle here.
I mean, they're mega blind. I mean, they can't have moved that far. Unless Igor's giving it back the worst information in the world, but... Yeah, I mean, for Fury, I think there's a little bit of scaredness of that front line being aggressed upon. Schweppes pulls the nades. We are playing battleships right now. Grenade to E5. You missed by a mile.
Just dashing them out. He's gone wide, man. Start forest fire out in this field of Erangel right now. Be the best opportunity for them. That one actually hits.
He's having to drive into it, though. Okay.
Assist.
I mean, I think we could just wait on these nades. There's plenty of time to wait on this one. E-Arena can play off the back of the tree in the near future. Ayala's just going to swing round, right?
Not how I expected the first domino to fall, but that's Ayala going in and opening things up with an advantage for E-Arena.
This is Pmwc. Here at EW could make all the difference. Joker's about to send this nade back into the blue.
A little bit of a pre-fire. Problem is the info goes both ways. Silence got a good read of what angle they're actually playing from now.
Oof. He actually did.
Oh, okay. Chief with a peek up. There you go. Follow up off the back of it. Let's see if they can deal some damage. Silence peeks up. Warning shots out, low on health, got about half left to play with.
Igor's, as he went down, I think he might have thrown out some information that was maybe less than useful. Unfortunate stuff. To be fair, whilst he was still alive, they had a real good pinpoint on what the arena was doing. So I am joking. It's a joke, guys. I do think Igor's a great player. But yeah, still a weird endgame.
Yeah, it was a lot of utility investment with not too much information. Kind of felt like it was, you know, we don't want to push, so we're just going to lob everything.
Yeah.
And then have that respectful gunfight once we get in your
exactly.
face.
Because I do think that for E-Arena, they just wait a little bit longer, play up towards the tree line. With the amount of nades they had, they could have blanketed the entire thing. But even then, they were like bouncing them out into the blues. It's a little strange. It was a little strange. And you're right. I also did not expect that to be the first domino to fall, which was just Ayala just getting mega impatient.
After all that waiting, yeah, it was kind of really like a curveball just came in. Swift gut punch. Didn't expect that.
I know they're behind. I'm just going to go for it. All right. Confirmed. That's where they are. You're dead, Ayala. That's where they are, lads.
Yeah, I got the info.
Okay.
Got the info.
Info gained. Sick of playing battleships. But yeah, overall, I think if we look a little bit prior into that game, I think Aurora, the way they set themselves up, not bad, but there was a couple moments where it got real hectic. I think a lot of teams made it far into that end game. Tiamba play out that radio tower really, really well. Even I think Tiamba's decision-making does require bringing up a little bit. The fact that they decided to push over towards Vitality in that moment, the play almost works, but the speed at which they do it, like, we're getting crunched right now, we have to just fly over towards this team and take them out. They have no qualms about just fully going for it. I really like that, and I think that that's the type of playstyle that's going to win you games more often than it loses them.
No, absolutely. I think, again, that was one where it was like Razak just kind of popped off on the hold.
Yes.
It was, honestly, it was better play from him than it was bad play from them. He just popped off on a solo mission where it's like, oh, fair play. You've actually kind of owned us there.
Yeah.
But what the play was meant to do was great. They needed ammo, they needed supplies, and they went for it. So
absolutely.
It was a head-on call.
It was the right thing to do. And the right thing for us to do right now is to go for a little moment with the boys over on the stage, and we'll be back real soon.
Powers here at Pmwc 26, joined by John Allen, Kalaris, and Neptura, and we're playing a round of hot drop darts.
Ooh, we're going to be getting stuck into the board, hopefully. Maybe not for some. Some are having a bit of trouble during practice, but we're going to be taking some shots at the board. The person with the least score is going to have to give their hot take, so let's jump into it. You guys, I think you two have to go first.
I think we get Nep up there first. Let's get Nep's in a prime position for this. I feel like I'm in the danger zone,
Yeah.
but let's see.
Get ready to dodge.
Oh, it's your best one. Yeah, that's
it's on the board. All
Very
right, let's
much.
shuffle
Until
up.
Thursday.
And Kalaris up to the bat. Oh, okay, all right.
Okay. This is good. This is good. There you go, James. There you
Shuffle in,
go.
shuffle in.
Thank you. Don't hit me, please. Oh, it's a 17. Currently, Nep's in last with 6.
No way. Oh, a double 17.
It's a triple 17.
It's a triple one, I don't
That means Neptura is last.
Are
There
you
go.
serious?
Yep. What's your hot take, Neptura?
My hot take is that the Uzi is a bad weapon and shouldn't be played.
There you go.
That's it. Wait,
This one was Neptura.
that one was mine.
bullseye.
No, it's in 25.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
It's you.
well, she's already done a hot take now, so.
wait. You did that on purpose.
No,
you.
no, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. All right, here. Go on.
John starting us off. Let's see. Oh, hey.
A 5.
It's
Not
in.
bad.
That's all that matters, really.
It's on the board.
Here we go.
I haven't missed.
Kalaris now. Forearm strength. It's good. It's good.
Ooh, that could be a treble.
That's nice.
Get out
There
of the
you go.
danger zone. The splash zone's coming for you, Kale.
Good maths.
Oh, that's a triple.
Okay.
Triple 3.
God. All right, there you
Oh.
go, mate. Take this.
I'm pretty sure it's currently the lowest. Wait, no, it's not.
I'm
John's
on a
the
5.
lowest. Yes, John's the lowest.
Or is that a 2? It's a 5, I think.
It's a 5.
Oh, and that's a 2.
That is a 2.
I've been saved by the upside down
It's true.
version of my own
Jackie,
number.
it's your turn.
There you go.
Okay. Hot take. Dino Park and Vikendi, infinitely better than Ronda. I miss it. Bring it back.
Oh, okay.
All right, considering I actually lost the first round, I should probably do a hot take because I cheated you out of it. I'm so sorry. Tiamba will not win PMWC despite looking really good.
I feel like I've got to follow in with a hot take as well.
Oh, okay.
I feel like over-reliance on ARs, nonsense. I want DMRs in, give the players a little bit more expression in the secondary slot, you know? Those submachine guns, something else popping in. Give a little bit more individuality. That's what I want to see.
I like it.
Don't give me this mic. You know what I want? I want all of your opinions from the viewers at home. You in the chat. Tell us what you think. Let us know right here, right now. What are your controversial takes?
Chasing the sunrise, boots hit the ground, hear the battle call. Loot up, lock in, we're ready for it all. Every street, every door, searching for a little more. One squad, one dream, nothing's ever what it seems. The circle's closing in, can you feel it on your skin? Heartbeat like the drum, the final fight has come. Fight till you make it, never gonna break it. Stand your ground and take it, right into the fire. Fight till you make it, every move can change it. Higher and higher, we're reaching for the winner, winner, chicken dinner. Fight till you make it, fight till you make it.
If I'm not mistaken, Neptura, I think you actually won at darts. And I think you got that chicken dinner.
I did.
You were lied to, but
Very mad.
in this last game, E-Arena wasn't lied to, Max, because E-Arena came out with the win.
I never know how to react to an E-Arena win now since that Rondo 39-pointer. I'm like, okay, that's great. That's a cool win. But what's next? No, it genuinely was a good game. It was very open-ended finish between Furia and E-Arena. I think it was kind of even Steven until eventually Ayala got a little bit overly aggressive on that push, and he gave them an advantage, and E-Arena using every resource they had available to get that win. Good to see, but again, I need to see that continue in your next coming matches.
Take it away, Lace. I know you've been wanting to talk about this team for a minute.
Hey, Arlo, I am revoking your driver's license because I was waiting for the Furia drive by Max. E-Arena, obviously, they deserved that win because of Furia and their driving and not taking that position early on. I mean, I liked the way that they sort of held out E-Arena early on in the map. Yeah. They had Silence kind of scouting Vitality's movements right down at the south side. So this was such a better play from them. They're actually defending and looking where other teams are sort of pushing into that position. They had such a strong split hold. Obviously, a little bit of tunnel vision coming out of some of the players there, and then I don't know what the vehicle situation was, and you could hear me screaming in the back, he's like catching nades with the vehicle as well, and I'm like, what plan is this? They had such a strong position after getting like
this one.
Yeah, after moving their way into zone on the rotation on the southern side, Max.
Look,
I'll give you my pack Neptune. I'm really upset.
I know what happened, actually. I was talking tonight. I saw him as we were leaving the talent room, and I asked him, like, what was the play with Ayala? And he said the idea for Ayala was to get an off angle on the team and actually catch them from behind. But then he saw two players and he got scared. And that's the thing is, right, lack of information will make you do these kind of mistakes. So it could have been a good idea, and catching nades didn't work out. It could have been great, but unfortunately, two-player setup was exactly what E-Arena needed in case of those kind of pushes coming their way.
That was just a big, something I like to call what the Furia. WTF, because that's exactly what ended up happening with that one. I've been working on that one all day, especially with the way that they were playing earlier. There was a squad, though, that was able to put up a good amount of eliminations, and it was none other than Aurora. Aurora, once again, Neptura being able to back it up with the limbs, even though they wasted a lot of utility with Tiamba.
They did wait. It was a big old red zone, and it was fairly unnecessary. However, it does get you those points, right? And it's been really nice to see them actually, because I think in the group stage, right, we saw them just doing just enough to get into the top 5, just enough to get to where they wanted to be. Now we're seeing true Aurora here. Now we're seeing the team that we're used to seeing, and I'm really, really enjoying that. I think they've actually played a lot better, right? They're very even. They're not splitting. Doc's not doing his thing. He's staying with his team, and Reefus, we've seen some really cool off angles from them, so very happy with them.
And something that I enjoy seeing there, especially out of that graphic, Max, is Top being able to bounce back. Remember earlier in the previous match before this one, Top was on top of the bridge. It didn't end up working out for him, but 4 LMs out of him, a person that has been an MVP before on an international finals, that's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, really happy. I mean, the best way to describe it is what you said, Niptra. They became a red zone at that moment in that game, and I love the way that any team would get in contention of their zone, they would start just nading them to hell and back. So Aurora playing it really well. I am still not sold on their performances so far. I feel like there's still a lack of fragging power that they used to have in the past. Doc is underperforming quite significantly. So Top, GG's, I'm loving it. Zol too had some great moments, especially in that Rondo. But Doc, he's still sleeping right now. He needs to wake up.
Wake up, Doc. Wake up. Just make sure you don't start going away from your team, because that's when things ends up falling apart for Aurora. But Aurora, honestly, 36 points, currently tied. But the tiebreaker does go to E-Arena with that win that they ended up getting. Tiamba, though. Tiamba right now, the aggressiveness that we've been seeing out of this team, if you want to give the mic to Lace, they're currently putting up those numbers, Lace, because 27 eliminations squad and only 4 placement points.
Yeah, I see that. This is what I'm saying. They're finding those fights. They're gathering those eliminations, finding a nice power play position, but then unfortunately losing it, which is where we see the decline in placement points. But obviously this is still a really good trend for them, especially coming out of survivals into this sort of scenario, and to have that amount of points and that sort of trajectory is incredibly good for them. But of course, we got to bring it back to kind of the smash rule and the way that you have to gather these eliminations. It's fine. It's good to do it, obviously, today, but then we got to see more of those placement points and those wins out of them to be able to take more than that.
100%. And another team that's currently doing that, Max, is none other than Nongshim. And I know you weren't quite happy with what Nongshim, especially Human, was doing that last game.
Yeah, initially I love the way they initiate the fight onto, I think it was Orangutan in that gas station. I'm like, okay, you've got some solid off angles, I like it, they're pushing the fight. But the thing is about off angles, they lose effectiveness the longer the fight goes on. And I think it was one of the play on the Harry Potter tower, he had a great line of sight, but eventually Orangutan know you have that line of sight, so they're not going to peek you that aggressively. That would be the prime time for them to regroup, fully commit to the fight and send it, and hopefully come out on top. But they're very slow to respond to these moments, and I'm very upset with their opening performances so far.
Yeah, one team talking about aggressive, talking about people committing to a fight. We saw Nigma Galaxy and Ida finally commit to the hot drop, and if I'm being completely honest, I don't want to see it. I don't care about it. Leave that ego to some other time, because right now it's going to be hurting those two teams.
Yeah, it is, and we did see Fourth Thrives take advantage of what's been going on there, right? Just dropping in on, trying to get a few limbs, and then move back to their position. They were trying to punish that as much as possible, just because it's kind of silly. In the finals, maybe day one, you kind of get away with it, but keep on doing it. It's not going to work out. Fourth Thrives knew that, and, you know, they might not be the only team to take advantage of that. If the playing path's a little funny, if that keeps happening, other teams might just third-party that.
Yeah, they will end up third-partying that. We saw there towards the bottom of the leaderboard as well. Godlike, OG currently not being able to put up those numbers. Those are two teams that are looking to bounce back. But right now, we are halfway through that mark. Lace, any team that has surprised you so far?
I would just like to say that, like, I'm very proud of you, Furia. You know, I know I was a little bit mad in that situation, and I was surprised about you in the first couple of games, and I just want to make it note that that was a much better performance, but still I'm taking a driver's license away.
That was a good performance. Next time you ever take my mic, Lace, this big old chicken is going to be hitting your head once again. But as we're getting ready here for match 4, let's send it over to none other than Barney and Luti.
Luti, yeah, you know how last week we were talking about how to win PMWC?
Oh, yeah, the big secret I told everyone.
You gave everyone some incredible insight for those of you at home that were listening. Teams were listening as well. Aurora Gaming, Tiamba, the Arena, they're playing very well at the moment.
Indeed.
But let's break it down into the finer details, okay? So I want to ask you a little bit more, okay? So what's the best map to capitalize on points?
I mean, there is different teams with different play styles, so it depends.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, it depends, yeah. How about vehicles for late rotations, getting into a good position? What's the best vehicle to use?
The horse, the buggy, and so different maps, so it depends.
It depends.
Yeah, as well.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Utility, okay, so end of game, smokes, nades, medical packs, bandages. What's the best thing to have in your arsenal?
I mean, depending your situation with the cycle, so I will answer, it depends.
It depends.
Yeah.
Okay. Luti.
It's not that easy, you know?
Luti. What's the best gun in the game?
I mean,
let me guess. It depends. Sacre bleu.
No, Barney. Everyone knows it's a P90. Not depends. Okay, back to you, casters. I hope you're ready. It depends.
And yeah, he's right. The V90 is where it's at, but we are here live in the finals, getting ready for the last 3 matches.
Absolutely. We have got a great day unfolding before us. We've had some real step-ups from a lot of teams coming on through, some great rotations, some insertions, some side swipes into those zones. That S2G hovercraft double roll-up, that was looking pretty, but we're going to be sending ourselves once again over to Erangel to find ourselves one more chicken dinner.
Let's see who's gonna get it. Yeah, I mean, this is it, the last Erangel of the day, and it's time to put up some serious points. I mean, we're still super early in this tournament, but we're already starting to see some teams, right, make some things happen. I was able to talk to one player in particular as we were getting into this game. I happened to see S-Power from Godlike. The hair is hard to miss. I went up to the man and said, hey, you know what, give me 3 words before we get into this next match. And he said, the domination begins.
Ooh, using a whole word on the. That is bold. That's the sort of confidence that you want to see coming through. For Godlike, they do want to try and push a little bit further up those tables, try and get in the competition for those top spots. Of course, having only seen 3 matches, we are still in a fairly
uncertain situation, in a state of flux when it comes to those tables. Obviously, some performances standing out more than others, but it's definitely still achievable because of the fact that we have got an 18-match set, right? We've been playing so far on 12-match sets time and time again, but moving over to that expanded 3-day approach, that 18 set, that's where consistency really comes into play. So it's teams that are able to earn 6, 7, 8 points on those games that are going to be the teams that will take those top spots, those podium positions.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, it's all about putting up as many points as you can early on, and consistency is going to be the king here at the end of the day. I mean, we saw in the group stage, right, E-Arena, 39 points in one single game, and they weren't even able to make it. I mean, straight to the finals. They had to deal with the survival stage, and let's be honest, I mean, luckily we're able to get here, right? So,
oh, yeah.
I mean, but they're crushing it now. They did a great job in that last game, right? And so they're off to a strong start. Let's just see if they're able to keep that pedal to the metal. Aurora starting off strong is really good because historically, they've always taken a long time, right, to really get warmed up. But for them to put some points on the board early just goes to show that come finals time, they're adjusting their strategies and it's working out for them.
Maybe able to finally claim a title spot, you know, that's what they're going to be looking for. Plenty of other teams looking to do so as well. I know there's plenty of fans in the crowd for Furia who are there, really giving them their backing, which has been nice to see. Hopefully they can keep up the pace towards the top side as well. But yeah, I mean, there is so much on the line. That trophy, a threat to so many, but a promise to only one of our teams.
Man, one of the sickest trophies you could put on your shelf. I love every single year I see it. I'm like, oh, you gotta get one. And this is what these teams have been hunting for. They've been working all year long to get here. And we can tell the teams that have prepped, and it's every single one of them. It's wild to see all these names, and the level of competition has never been so even, in my opinion, right? I mean, there is squads all across the board. They get a good couple zones, good couple situations. They're not messing around. They're going to take full advantage of it here. You talked about Furia, right? I think it's only a matter of time before we see them get a chicken dinner. We got to see some keys a little earlier. We saw that Team Vitality key, Tianba, 2 monster squads as well. So it's just really about that consistently, like you talked about. But you know what? We're in the final Erangel of the day, John. One thing that stands out to me, without a shadow of doubt, is Pachinki, right? What is going on there? That last game has to mean that something's got to switch up, right?
It has to. Something definitely has to change. For me, I feel like Enigma Galaxy, they kind of, well, certainly we know how consistently Ralph will just sacrifice tournaments to hold on to Pachinki. So for me, I'm just unsure as to why Ida made the decision to stick to that drop spot. There are obviously other opportunities, and it's sort of, it reads ego to me. It reads ego that they aren't disengaging. I liked Forthrive's adjustment. They were able to get in. They were able to get, I think, 2 eliminations right at the start of the match. Really, really nice stuff from that very peer position that they normally drop around. They were able to move on up. They exploited that situation. But I think that the second good decision that Forthrive's made in that scenario was not to hunt down Ralph, right? Because he's a solo. He's hiding in a corner. You don't know exactly where he is. You disengage. You don't go hunting, because a solo in a corner in Pachinki, you could lose a player to that very, very easily. So I liked their withdrawal there coming on through. The other side of a hot drop in Pachinki that is a massive factor, certainly for later into the mid and later game, is the fact that in a hot drop, you don't get that loot truck, and you can't get it double either, which means that it went over to Vitality during that last match. It goes over to other teams who just sit on that northwest side. It's also an incredibly clear indicator that a hot drop is happening to a team out there, so they can grab that one and send on in to maybe pick up the pieces.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the highlights here before we get started, as these teams are going to get locked and loaded here in just a second here, folks. But yeah, you know, when we go back to that hot drop, it's wild to see. I've been kind of watching these two teams talk to each other all along here in Paris. And I'd see, you know, Enigma Galaxy players walk by Ida players. They kind of have some exchanging of words. And I was hoping they would kind of get this settled before the finals, because I think it's just a devastating loss for this to continue here for both of them. And in the last game, it showed, just like, because guess what? 4 Thrives. They came to party right after. They were like, oh, you know what? There's a silly fight happening in Pachinki. We'll take those eliminations, and they got some of them, right? So I think now that you have 4 Thrives, especially now on the hunt for this, it's got to make, you know, Ida, and Enigma Galaxy have to start second thinking, I think, some things. But at the end of the day, like you said it, you know, for those of you guys that don't know Ralph's true name, it's Ralph Pachinki Sanchez Montero III. Okay. Pachinki is in the name, all right? And he will refuse to let it go. And I mean, they've dominated it, right? We saw them be able to take out Ida, but now that you have 4 Thrives coming into play, it's got to make you second guess things.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that dropping in Pachinki is in Ralph's will somewhere.
Yeah.
When he eventually, hopefully, in the very far future. But if he keeps dropping in Pachinki in-game, he's certainly not going to have a long life expectancy. Aurora Gaming able to do the business, but we are going to head to a quick video whilst we get this lobby ready to rock for our last Pachinki today.
안녕하세요. 저는 농심 레드폭스의 엑지입니다. 여기는 현빈, 소이지, TG입니다.
프로 선수로서 경쟁하는 일은 항상 힘든 일입니다.
하지만 이런 플레이 라운지에 오게 되면 즐거운 게 되게 많죠. 저희가 이 플레이 라운지에 왔기 때문에 이 플레이 라운지에 있는 것들을 즐겨보겠습니다. 가시죠.
이 공간은 협력 공간입니다. 대회 측과 소통하거나 협력해야 될 일이 있으면 이곳에서 해결하실 수 있습니다.
EWC 공간에 있는 한 공간 중인 탁구장이 있는데 저희가 한번 재밌게 해보도록 하겠습니다.
오!
연습반이네, 완전.
어이씨, 뭐야? 여기는 여러 가지 즐길 것이 있는데요. 저희가 한번 다 체험해 보도록 하겠습니다.
대회를 할 때면 항상 배고플 때가 있는데 WC에서 제공해주는 음식이 있는데 그 품질이 아주 좋고 최고급이라고 해서 저희가 한번 먹으러 와봤습니다.
아, 배고프다. 빨리 가자.
Welcome back to the Hot Drop Watch here as we await the fate of Pachinki. It is still undetermined as to who is going to last the longest in that location, and if we may have a 4th, a 5th, or maybe even more teams. Perhaps everybody is going to Pachinki. It's going to be a 64-player brawl in the center of the map.
You know what? I'm in. I want to see that action. That would be absolutely insane. I mean, if it was going to be possible, now would be the time because it's the last one of the day. But you know what? It's time to see what exactly is going to happen as we get into the map. Final Erangel of day 1 of the finals. Now let's see who's going to be able to put some serious points on the board before we get into the sandy deserts of Miramar.
I mean, I'll take non-serious points at this stage. Of course, every single team would as well. Plane path on the west side of the mainland here, coming through from North George to the west point of Sosnovka military base. And it will be going fairly close to Pachinki, so we're not going to be denied it by the plane path. Hora out early over towards Severny. Tiamba over into North George. I'm keeping an eye out to see if any of our teams on the hot drop are going somewhere else, but I'm really not holding my breath.
I kind of am here. Oh. You know what? I will say, yeah, you can see already. Look at that. Looks like we're going to see another hot drop in Pachinki as Ida and Enigma Galaxy are headed in that direction.
Uh-oh.
Very, very interesting. I will say, though, we got to give massive props to Enigma Galaxy for being so high up on the leaderboards, considering that they've been dealing with this all day long here. I mean, they're in 4th place, 30 points. That's pretty insane.
Sure, I mean, they were able to take a chicken dinner towards the start of the day, right? So they do have a little bit of a foundation to try and do this with, but
they could be so much further ahead without this situation. It looks like we're not going to see a fourth Thrives flex out. Instead, S2G are the closest by on the southwest side. Nongshim Red Force, who have yet to touch the floor off their parachute, could potentially also flex in from the southeast side, but I feel like S2G are the most likely right now to cause problems for Ida. Enigma Galaxy on the north side of Pachinki, they're split right now, but you can see Rita on that off angle could be quite important. Ralph, seems like they know he's in this building, but the nade won't connect.
Yeah, that was a warning nade for sure. You can see Satan up on the roof here, or on this ledge, trying to get a little bit of information. He knows exactly where Rita is. It's a big stalemate, though. This is the hard part about these hot drops, and I can hear it. That loot truck is now driving on by. The precious loot. Satan's like, that should have been ours. I want it. No. Oh, Lord gets knocked. And did he get thirsted? No, he actually gets beat up pretty bad. Satan, oh, through the door. What a clutch knock for this team.
Able to take out the off angle there, and Ida are going to really struggle to get back to this one. It's across the road, and I don't think you can break past that. The res, though, in the meantime, is going to be there, and because it's so early in the game, it's so much less likely that you've got the nades on side to just completely suppress that res position, which allows Enigma Galaxy to go back to 4 and leaves Ida stranded on 3. Rita getting knocked there is the most crucial part of that fight, Jukes.
Man, that was an insane shot there from Satan. I mean, that's that game sense, guys. Shooting right through the door. He knew he was there, and he makes the play for his team. It's one of those micro plays, right? That when you make that kind of play, it just changes the entire situation for your squad. And now, because of that, Enigma Galaxy up ahead against Ida.
They still have to get a little bit more pace to it, though. And Ida are retreating now right to the southeast point of Pachinki. They've read that immediately Satan can move out, get this position on the off angle that they were previously in control of. The fact that they're aware of that is good, but you're just going to keep losing players. At this stage, I feel like Enigma Galaxy definitely have had a better result so far in this Pachinki hot drop. They were very ready for it. As you said, they will have known, they will have been aware that this is unfurled.
Yeah, and what are you going to do if you're Ida at this point? I mean, look where they're at on the leaderboards. I mean, this is crazy. 16th place, only 2 points so far. If I'm their coach, anybody that is in the leadership of this team, I'm like, give it up, guys. We lost. I mean, I get it, right? Day 1, you're going to battle it out with Enigma Galaxy to see if you can conquer this location, but it's an L. Like, you got to at some point realize that this is not going to work for us. If we want to be able to do well in this tournament, I mean, Erangel is the majority of the maps we're going to be playing here. We cannot afford to continue doing this.
It is pretty devastating. They have only lost 1 player this time around, but the loot is going to be fairly thin on the ground. The vehicle condition, like, I don't know, man. It's really cutting the legs out from underneath themselves.
It's terrible. I mean, you're down a player. You don't get the loot truck. You don't get any. You're under looted at this point. I mean, it's just a loss overall. And where they stand on the leaderboards is a pure reflection of that. So, yeah, you know, I always say that when it comes to these kind of hot drops or these situations in general, I really do think these need to be settled in rehearsals, you know, in the pre-matches, where it's like, hey, you know what, guys? Have a little handshake agreement. We're going to drop in Pachinki this game. Whoever wins it gets it, you know? Fair
enough. Yeah, well, I don't think that would ever happen. But, yeah, I mean, I kind of understand. It is a question, right, that is rooted in a lot more, I think, subjective opinion for a lot of people. Sure. Because you have that question of, if we give up our drop spot, are we just going to be easily pushed around in the future, right? Like, are you trying to do that sort of thing? I mean, it's like negotiating contracts, negotiating business there. It is one strategy is to just be like, okay, we'll go somewhere else. We'll go somewhere else. But you can hold your nerve. And if you guys want to be the best, then you guys need to hold your nerve, and you can look good doing it using the Naruto skins here. Make sure you're heading into game, get that character set, get that Ninetales Fury AUG skin. Get that one developing as well, because you can get some variations on that bad boy.
Yeah, you want to be maxing that bad boy out and looking real good. As you know, Tiambos have been looking really good today. They're in 4th place, 31 points. Milu, man, the way he started off that Rondo match was just wild. I mean, this man has been performing all tournament long for his squad. He had for sure, right? The play of the tournament. That 1v4 earlier in the group stage was so sick.
Yeah.
And then come finals time, the way he started out, they are looking really good.
Absolutely. They are currently in 4th place right now. Looking to try and keep themselves within striking distance of that 1st place spot, Godlike. Would love to try and join them, but they are a little bit more destitute on that points front with only 8 towards the bottom of those tables. Another circle heading up towards the north side, split by that central river. A lot of open ground south of Severny being covered actually mostly by Aura, who have a wide spread around the river, are causing a lot of problems. I'm interested to see how many teams look to head east of Yasnaya. Furia likely going to do so. Could potentially see that from teams who are still on the military island, by the way, Aurora and Al-Ula. And maybe we'll see it from one of the 2 teams who are still in Pachinki too, because, well, it looks like either looking to push back in and re-engage. Enigma Galaxy have been working the ground in the meantime, snaffling up all that loot and checking every corner. Or at least I hope they are.
Yeah, they better be, that's for sure. I mean, you can definitely tell they're keeping their head on a swivel here. They got to know that Ida's around here somewhere. They're just clearing building by building with Satan on the other side, rocking a 3-1 split. Got to be careful, though. One day could be dangerous. Oh, the shots ring on out, and the knock onto Coops is huge.
He's got another nade as well. Coops is in danger here. Ralph does need to get some healing done before he can go for that revive, but he should be okay to do it. You can't step forwards and go for the cross. And again, Satan is on that off angle. Just about misses Swain on the cross, but he should be able to call that one out. Should have spotted it. Lord is already cooking a nade. He knows he's in the building now. Launches it forwards and he takes it down. Beautiful communication.
The plays from Enigma Galaxy in Pachinki are just insane. How do they do these wild bounce back shots, nades that just turn the fight in their direction? This just goes to show you, when you know this side of the map like the back of your hand, it's gonna pay dividends.
In the meantime, Nongshim Red Force and 4th Rise are going head to head. And at the moment, it looks like 4th Rise are in the driver's seat. This is out to the east side of Potato Hill, but they are grabbing a couple of flushes on board as well. As we keep going with this hot drop, though. Yeah, Nongshim Red Force, they're going to try and get out, just leave a solo survivor coming on through. And another knock goes on in. This is Enigma Galaxy sweeping it under the rug. They're putting this hot drop to bed. It cannot come back tomorrow. It would be a terrible idea.
I can't stress how difficult this is to do, right? To be able to deal with this hot drop so frequently and to just execute in this perfect fashion. I mean, not losing a single player, getting those four points early on is just insane.
There was a hard north shift on the circle in the meantime. We are watching all of this hot drop unfold, but it is pushing teams now north very, very quickly, which is causing conflict around the crossings as Coops finds the final player on Ida. And down they go. All 4 players from Enigma Galaxy are there, and no third party came on through as well. Now we're going to jump over towards the teams that are looking to put pressure on up towards the north side. We talked a little bit about Nongshim Red Force losing 3 of their players. 4th Rise lost 1, but they did manage to get the 3 points for that fight. They are both still south of the river. Ulf Orangutan now on this northern side of Roshok River, and trying to get their foothold to move in towards those shooting range hills, potentially over towards Severny Way.
Yeah, we've been really focused on that Pachinki fight for so long. This zone is all the way up to the north, like you mentioned. We already got Furia up there in Severny, E-Arena over by shooting range right now, taking that Snake Hill position. And now we're gonna see a lot of these teams start make that rotation. Aurora Gaming, oh, the one rock! You gotta hit it for good luck.
That's a map open right there, guaranteed. 100% looking at the map.
Yeah.
No way.
I think we're gonna go here, guys.
Oh, he's gonna go again? Oh, no. Oh, okay, we're getting a little replay. This is on the 4th Rise and Nongshim Red Force fight. They'd already lost T24, but the hold from Hazaifa, the angles that he was able to clock, it seems, pretty efficacious on the high ground there. Love to see it for 4th Rise. Aurora on their crossing, run into Vitality. Looks like they may have run their last across these bridges. This western hold looking quite good for Vitality, who, for the time being, have been a little bit quieter, I think it's safe to say, than their group stage performances, but they're still very much there. They're still very much present.
is, well, certainly their presence is being felt by Aurora on this northwest side.
Vitality. Oh, southern shift here, and a big southern shift. This actually might be really good for the side of Nigma Galaxy, as they're going to be mushing in super late here. And are you kidding me? If this zone actually south shifts one more time to Roz, that would be devastating for this lobby. Aurora, I'm trying to figure out, what do you think they're doing here, right? They're over there by North George, splitting up, maybe trying to find some late loot.
Well, I mean, they were being held out by Vitality,
Yeah,
right? So
you're right.
They're just trying to take a turn around the town to maybe allow Vitality to disengage and then maybe re-engage later on, see what they can do with a little bit less pressure from the river crossing on that front. Team Flash over on the east side need to settle their score with Alola to try and get towards the circle. And it is not looking pretty for Alola. They lose a player. Not a good start, but yeah, it would be kind of mental to send all the way down to Rozhok. It'd be great for Nigma Galaxy, right? They're still just on the north side of Pachinki, so yeah, they could just take up that mountain and lickety-split, get themselves another chicken dinner. Godlike, in the meantime, on the hunt in the middle. Getting stuff done, getting bits out to Aura, and it seems that they are going to be able to take at least one and get the flush for Godlike.
Mormon, the nade looks good. Puts them all the way down to 1 HP. Mormon, pow, pow, pow. That's 12K getting the finish. And look at that. I mean, teammate instantly there with the vehicle to make sure that they can get him over to safety. So Aura going to have to go out pretty early here in this game. Only one single player up, see what he can do later on. But now we're off to the gas station with a Furia. Keeping their eyes onto Team Flash. Win has the P90 and the ghillie suit. So he definitely won that crate drop. He came out absolutely stacked to the teeth and hits the tree for good luck. That is a necessary thing to do here, folks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bold
just a
strategy.
Little tap on the tree.
Little tap, tap, tap.
Little shout out to Mother Nature there, just saying hi. And then...
Gotta make sure it's secure.
Yeah, and then proceeding to unleash lead into the hillsides around him. Hopefully. With that P90. Team Flash getting out of dodge from this east side could be tricky. S2G managed to make their way to one of the buildings here that is this lineup from S2G, from Orangutan, from Tianba, and from Ulf. On this lineup, very central on the circle, some very defensible positions, but teams will start to crowd in around them. Vitality and Aurora, this is the re-engage, Dukes.
Here they go, they're battling it again, and it looks like Aurora are on top so far with that knock on a Razak. Here you can see Zol driving around, trying to get some information. Federalis up close and personal, having to run back. Oh, it's Godlike on the other side. Yeah, that's too dangerous. Vitality need to disengage this, as their 6 is not covered, but Razy is driving up close and personal, giving an opportunity for Reesmus to put some shots onto him. And yeah, it's just down to these 2 players left for Aurora. This fight would have definitely went off earlier, but that third party from Godlike bought Aurora Gaming some time.
A little bit, but now they're down to 2. And Vitality doing a little bit of nade there, not ideal. E-Arena in the meantime trying to find their way in on the north side, but it's not looking super accessible right now. And now it seems like they're engaged with the final player from Horror. Sleepy is holding it, but in the meantime a crash. S2G trying to roll across, but Tiamba are holding face against it, and they are not going to let S2G in without a fight. Aurora want to jump in and join the party here. A nade in, that could be brutal there, right under his feet. Is it going to blast him down? But there's an answer, and Reefus falls. A third knock over towards Tiamba, but now everybody has been isolated and evacuated from this fight. Nobody's left to put the pressure on this triple knock.
Are you kidding me? It looked like these guys were fighting in a lake of fire here. QZ in the center of it. And Top could have been there to make that play, but unfortunately, there are too many teams surrounding him, and it stopped that crucial third party.
Oh, another nade from Top. Doesn't quite connect there. There is an answering nade, and that is going to back Top off nicely. The run around there. Orangutan maybe missing a beat there, maybe missing a trick. Not able to flex out. Didn't quite have the angles on it.
Top!
Oh, Top just about behind the concrete there to keep him safe from catch, but they know exactly where he is. He's got 2 smokes. He is slap bang in the middle of the circle, though, Jukes, and that might be a little bit of a help until another team rocks up with nowhere to go. They're going to roll right on top of this guy.
Yeah, Top's cooked right now. He's just like, I think I'm just going to lay down right here.
He's on the simmer.
For as long as I possibly can. No standing up for me. It's straight hit the deck time on the side of Top. But hey, you know what? That's good, right? He's got a good position in zone. They're pretty high up on the leaderboard, so they can just kind of hang on and get some placement points. That'll be good for him. But meanwhile, I mean, Tianba on a tear. 7 eliminations. Fortunate for them. They're able to get everybody back up here. And they're in a solid position in this circle as we now look on over to Furia. Igor hopping out the vehicle here, getting punished by E-Arena for it.
Oh, it's not going well. It is not going well for Furia. Unfortunate, they're just going to be down to Chief, the other 2 players down on the hillside. Tianba, by the way, managed to fend off a triple team crash on their compound, right? They're now on 7 eliminations. They have done phenomenal stuff. It's likely they're going to have to fend off at least 1 more, but the number of crates around them is going to be ludicrous. They're going to have to try and figure out exactly what they want to put in their backpacks as Flash try to find their way through, thread the needle, but E-Arena are just going to roll it down. Mormon over the top, doesn't even need to ring the doorbell to open that door. And Tops has to turn tail. Turney K sees to it. He's going to get backed off by a third party. I think that might be Orangutan chiming in. And now Tops has to head towards 4th Thrive, so nowhere real to go for him as Hyunbin finally bites the dust, the last player alive for Nongshim Red Force.
E-Arena are putting some good points on the board here. I mean, they're having to really battle it out, holding the edge of that circle, because there's a lot of open field in this zone. And now you're going to see 4 Thrives. 6 eliminations so far. Falak with 2, Zypha with 3.
It's keeping Rozog in.
Oh my, I just saw that circle shift. Are you kidding me? Enigma Galaxy, they'll take that all day long, right? Hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to get a little reward for those crazy hot drop efforts, and they'll definitely take that one to the bank.
Yeah, that's going to be friendly for them for the time being. For them, I feel like a good strategy is to start scouting the other side of the river now, though. I feel like you need to get someone in fast. The difficulty, of course, is that 4 Thrives, and now Vitality is starting to move in, and they don't have an outpost there. Move over to the bridge, a little bit out of the zone.
Yeah.
I feel like somehow you've got to find a coastal position on that riverbank. And if you hold towards the warehouse, towards the triple stack, it's just going to be a bleed out for Enigma Galaxy. The placements aren't really going to be enough. Yeah, I want a little bit more forward thinking there as Aurora lose their final player. Top could not stay in for too much longer. 4 Thrives though, getting crashed on.
Here they go. E-Arena not messing around here, just full sending it, non-stop aggression from this team. And it's been paying off so far, and that's why you can see them on top. Mormon hopping on out, trying to hit that flick shot on Zypha. Zypha's really hurt here. Great teamwork though from E-Arena, picking apart the likes of 4 Thrives.
Zypha has been so difficult to deal with, but E-Arena the only team to be able to take him down, and it took at least 3 of them. Turney K goes down with him, but 10 eliminations now for E-Arena. Very possible to get this res. This is the chance, though, for Enigma Galaxy to move across. And look at Ralph. He's getting over. Coops is looking to join him. This is the perfect opportunity whilst these teams on the East are preoccupied. A little bit slow to get the third party, but it is a good first step. I like what they've been able to do there. We've seen counterpointed river cross positions in 2-2 splits work well in the past. I'm hoping they can leverage that here. I'm a little bit disappointed in Orangutan on the north side. I feel like they could have poked their noses into that fight and third party did as well. Moved a little bit further out to the east, been fairly safe from Tianba and gotten stuck in there, but they hold inside. And I don't think it was going to be enough.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed here in the EWC is the quickness these teams are ready to third party and take those opportunities. And it's just kind of surprising to see OG just kind of hold back there for a second. Enigma Galaxy, just due to the terrain, weren't able to even think about getting that third party. But because of that fight, it opened the door for them to be able to at least make that safe rotation and get that 2-2 split going that you were talking about. So let's see how they're able to capitalize onto it, though. As now is the calm before the storm. We are in stage number 5. All these teams just planning it out, trying to figure out, okay, if the zone goes over here, we're going to have to make these plays. If the zone stays on us, then GG, baby. We just shoot at everything in sight.
Yeah, we're going to get the next zone unveiling itself in the next 20 seconds or so. Godlike try and keep their ridgeline in play. This is a replay of the roll-up. Okay, this is when E-Arena crashed on towards 4 Thrives. Falak. Yeah, went down very quickly there to Joker. Not much you can do about that. When the flying vehicle launches over the top, the bunny rabbits bound on into your sightlines. He wasn't ready for it, which is kind of unfortunate. Next circle, though, comes in Jukes.
and it will head over to the west. So I think the Galaxy do have to get on the road. Ulf fairly happy in their compound, but Godlike are putting pressure on.
But yeah, Godlike. Remember, as Power said, the domination starts now. Let's see if they can actually make that thing, though, as they got Ulf right behind them. They're super pinched, making it very difficult for them to make a play from their position. And now you can see Scarface getting up close and personal as Power trying to smoke some things out, buy his teams some time. It's going to be up to him and Admino, though, as they are just trying to hold this spot. Unfortunately for them, though, it's outside of circle. Yeah, so now Ulf are in a perfect position to gate cardi this. Oh, nice shots, though, from Admino. But unfortunately, those smokes are perfectly put, and he's not able to get the thirst.
The nade is up high, doesn't quite go the distance. It went completely out of his viewing angle there. If it had been just a little bit further, that could have been a straight knock there. S-Power gets across. And just to get some healing started as well, but that blue zone pressure is coming through. We're looking at OG and E-Arena, as well as Enigma Galaxy, also having to make moves in the meantime, Dukes, and move in from this east edge. Tiamba are gonna have to move. There is a lot of teams that have to make some difficult decisions now, and OG are making it right now. They're gonna roll straight on forwards, try and get dead center here and contest with Enigma Galaxy on the coastline into Vitality sightlines as well. They drop down, and 3 of them managed to get across, not unscathed, but alive.
Great IQ of a rotation. They knew that one little plateau was right there. They were able to head straight towards it. They get their safe. Coops in trouble. The closest nade, he's done. Oh, able to get the heal off, and now get some shots downrange. Headshot onto Mormon. Joker right there next to him, though. Can Coops get to safety? No, he gets knocked, and E-Arena are going to continue to apply that pressure, getting that thirst immediately there onto Coops. Enigma Galaxy just getting picked apart. That 2-2 split not working out.
That was insane for Coops to be able to do so much damage on that angle. He really held Ralph in the game there, and are leaving Enigma Galaxy on 3. Orangutan lost players on the center as well. They are now down to just 2 as E-Arena make the same mad dash. The mad crash against Tianbao will not work out for them, and E-Arena evaporated.
The arena evaporated, and they end up feeding the beast that is Tiamba. They did put some good points on the board for them, and I love to see that aggression. Let's see if Tiamba, though, can put even some more points and get this chicken dinner. They already have 10 eliminations. They're looking pretty unstoppable. S-Power forced to hit the deck. Now with those sight lines just punishing them. I mean, they have this position locked down.
You needed Admino to be on an angle there to suppress Ulf, but no, not quite there, not quite ready, didn't have the presence, and it's a difficult spot on the north side, so I can't really blame them too much there. Now the transition to the rest of the circle. A knock over towards Tiamba, and the final flush onto Godlike as well. Another nade over towards Tiamba. They're getting caught in the crunches. Enigma Galaxy move up the hill. They're challenging Orangutan. They're challenging Tiamba. They're doing a lot on this eastern side. Enigma Galaxy strike at the opportune moment.
Perfect timing there for Enigma Galaxy. They understand the situation. Hey, we got to push up. We can't just sit back and relax, wait for them to come to us. And you can see Lord with those nades applying the pressure. I think they need to slow things down a little bit, though. The circle is coming. The circle will push these teams out. So you want to make sure you hold on to all of that utility up until that last and final second. And I think they realize that. That's why they're starting to hold on to those nades. But the shots ringing out. Eagle getting a nice knock on the air, and that's their biggest threat right now.
Catch, though, with the response over to QZZ. And it leaves Eagle alone. Dropping that smoke, the zone starts closing in 15 seconds, so this res needs to be now. It needs to come through as fast as possible to be able to be in a position to move out. Orangutan lose their final player.
Gone.
And it is going to go down to Enigma Galaxy, who are now up on 7 elims. Their transition from across the river has gone so well for them.
What a game from Enigma Galaxy, getting hot dropped over and over and over. They take out Ida in just a beautiful fashion, and now with this fortunate zone shift are putting the punishment on this lobby as they take down Eagle from Tiamba.
Now QZZ will go down too, and Tiamba knocked out. They managed to get a whole host of points, though, 14 on the match, and they will keep themselves in the running for the podium. Enigma Galaxy looking to join them. There's not enough room for both of you. You've got to organize it. Back to front, stand the line. But Vitality gonna have to leave as well from their cover on that south edge.
Does Solus not see Satan right there in that corner?
He had to see him now. No, he's too focused downhill. Oh, never mind. It's going to be Axel that catches him out. So it's all up to Vitality. Axel, the last player up. Is he able to survive?
Oh, Ralph gets knocked as well. Ulf are captaining from this compound for quite a while now. They haven't had to leave it. And when they do, it's against two duo teams with one of their players on either side knocked. For Ulf, this should be a clean sweep. There are no two ways about it, but it might get a little bit hairy. Lord is shut out first, and Aaron doesn't even hit the deck. A 2v4 here would be needed for Vitality, and they are getting cut across, sliced and diced. Ulf are on the hunt. Downhill, they roll on in, and it's just Razy to stand in their way. The smoke billows, the P90 at hand. You couldn't ask for a better setup, but Ulf are here, and they have the nades, the ordnance to blast them apart at the seams.
And that is how you do it, folks. Ulf just taking full opportunity there and capitalizing it on it. We love to be able to see that. That building so strong. It was in circle all the way up there towards the end, but they didn't just sit on their hands, right? They just saw, they hunted down every elimination they possibly could, and then once they realized that those teams were weak, they pushed out immediately and were able to get it done.
Some real heads-up plays, some proactive plays during that match. I mean, we focused a lot at the start on the hot drop, but the rotations up towards the north side also came in to be really impactful later on into that match, right? It was the teams that got there early that had the staying power. For me, a highlight of that game was also Tiamba holding off against the triple crash. It was Alula, followed by S2G, followed by Aurora. Everybody wanted to get into that central compound, but they denied them access at every single turn. It was a shame that Tiamba couldn't go the full distance. They did get shut out. And I feel like for Orangutan, they could have had more of an impact on that northeast side that would have changed the tune there. And hopefully they can find those opportunities in the future. It would be great to see them perform at the level we know them to be capable of from their performance in group stage, but it is looking pretty powerful on multiple fronts.
It's so tough. I mean, everybody here is playing just hyper aggression. Zero hesitation gameplay here live in
pretty powerful on multiple fronts.
It's so tough. I mean, everybody here is that many elims. That's a good game no matter what.
Yeah, that fight with 4 Thrives over the ridgeline worked out well for them. And again, the lack of third party allowed them to keep in the match for a lot longer. They were down to just a single player standing at one point, but they managed to get back to 3 to recover that pressure without any third party look-ins coming on through. And yeah, for E-Arena, it's a good result. I would even say it's a great result to keep them at the top of the tables, to keep, well, I don't know if they're actually at the top of the tables anymore. We'll have to double check that, but a man who could find out is Kalaris down on the stage with E-Arena.
I'll try my best, John Allen. Yes, that's right. E-Arena looking fantastic so far, so let's ask them a few questions about the games here to get things rolling. So first things first, your previous win going up against Furia. Were you surprised by Furia's approach to the late game? And talk to me about that late game in general after you got the win.
ในเกมที่เราต้องเจอกับฟิวเรียนะฮะในเกมที่เราชนะเมื่อสักครู่เนี่ยฮะตอนที่เราเจอกับฟิวเรียฮะเรารู้สึกเซอร์ไพรส์ไหมกับวิธีที่ฟิวเรียเล่นเพลย์สไตล์ของฟิวเรียในเกมนั้นครับ
ก็แปลกใจครับแต่ก็รู้ว่าเขาเล่นอย่างนั้นอยู่ครับก็เลยไม่ได้ตื่นเต้นเลยครับ
Well, we expected, but we still surprised with how they approaching the teams. But even though the last result is that they're winning the games.
Okay, so you guys got very close to qualifying via the group stage and then came really close to not qualifying via the survival stage. So has there been any difference in approach here to the final? What has the team talked about to adjust here coming into the finals of PMWC?
ก็สนามที่2นะฮะในกรุ๊ปสเตจเราก็เกือบที่จะได้ควอลิฟายแล้วส่วนในรอบ survival stage นะฮะเราก็เกือบที่จะตกรอบแล้วด้วยซ้ำในตอนนั้นอยากถามว่าในตอนนี้ฮะรู้สึกยังไงบ้างครับ
ก็พอเราเข้าไฟนอลมาได้ใช่ไหมครับก็ทุกอย่างก็เริ่มใหม่ครับทุกคนเริ่มจากศูนย์เราก็เริ่มจากศูนย์ก็เลยไม่กดดันอะไรครับ
Well, right now we have zero pressure at all. So we are here to win, of course. And it's since everyone, this is a new day, new group. So this is a champion group now. Everyone's starting at the 0 point. So that's no different. And we're gonna claim all the glory back to Thailand.
Okay, so that does it then. Well, thank you very much for the answers. That does it down here on the stage. We'll be with you for more from PMWC in just a moment.
Today, our players are taking on a brand new challenge, Drop Hunt. Each team will be split into 2 pairs, with each pair receiving their own map. 5 locations are marked on the map and hidden in the player lounge area. At each location is a mystery envelope. The mission is simple: find them, grab them, and bring them back. But there's a catch. There are only 5 envelopes, and each one is worth 20 points. The team that collects the most envelopes wins Drop Hunt. Ready, set, hunt.
Mana kita? Iya, so. Mana ya? Sini bang. Sini bang. Kita stiker di sini bujang. Kita di sini aja. Coba tengok mapnya lagi. Mereka mana tengok di daerah sini? Kayak mana cara dapat amplopnya anjing? Tengok tahu cara ambil mereka. Ini kah? Mana si amplopnya? Pernah diambil harusnya. Lihat. Mana? Di sini. Viewing di situ, viewing. Viewing ini nggak sih? Mau kita orang aja gitu. Iya, orang. Ayo. Woi. Pet. Sini, Pet. Kau mati juga kejangan. Ini, Pet. Ambil, Pet. Lari, Pet. Lari, Pet. Jam. Oh, yang ini. Mana dia? Ini, Mas. Oh, tren juga, Ren. Ambil. Gini. We have 3, they have 2. We lost. Yeah. Nangis dulu, jangan nangis, Yang. Yeah, let's go.
Today is going by so quick. It feels like a final here at Pmwc at EWC 26. And these players are currently putting up the numbers. By the way, for everybody currently watching home, don't forget about the Pmwc Lucky Spin that is currently in the game. Log into PUBG Mobile and get those Pmwc skins. They are co-created with PvP creator, none other than Nana. You guys want to check them out, make sure you do so. The Alien Fusion Grossa looks absolutely stunning. On top of that, the Electron Energy set and the Proton Power set. Maxman has all of them, if I'm not mistaken, and I personally just want the Grossa.
Yeah, I do have the Grossa. Unfortunately, I don't use it much because I cannot control that recoil. So I just stick to the AUG because I'm basic like that, 7. But the AUG is cool.
I'm with you, honestly. I won't be able to control the recoil, but I just want to see it. I want to see it glow, even if I'm able to get at least 1 elimination. One team that was able to glow in this last match, being able to keep all their 4 players alive, none other than Ulf, Natura.
Oh, finally. You said it, right? We're finally getting a play where we actually have all of Ulf still around, still here to fight for the end game, to fight for that chicken dinner coming on through. Yeah, really nice to see. I mean, yes, they didn't have to contest it too much. They had 1 or 2 fights in the mid stage of the game, OG more notably, but then they were able to just hold their position, wait for the right time, and then once that time struck, Max, they were all over that final circle.
Yeah, I mean, really able to get himself some good presence at the end, keeping 4 players alive, which is my biggest issue with them since PMGO Season 1 in Jakarta this year. And you know what? They're able to finally get it done. I told you they're a slow starting team. We're getting to the finals. We're finally starting to see these more dominant finishes from Ulf. But second place, Nemo Galaxy. I got a segment later on, but you know what? It's good to see that once they do get out of the hot drop 7, they can actually put up big points.
They can put up those big points. Talking about big points here for some teams, it was none other than Godlike and OG. This was a match that they really needed laced because the middle of the pack teams were eliminated very early on. They needed to be able to catch up, but they were only able, both teams were only able to catch 5 points apiece.
I mean, look, it's still a great improvement from them. And being so, they had like that kind of control in the middle of zone. So they were there for that early rotate. I would have liked to sort of see, I guess, OG apply a little bit more pressure to their eastern side. But still, to get to that point after the first couple of matches is a better thing for them. Obviously, we talk about slow starting teams, and they are one of them. But I do believe that coming into like the next match, we're probably going to see them a little bit more active. I mean, they need to be a little bit more active in that, but to get to that, I guess, spot that they have, it's a lot better than the previous match.
It is. And one team that was able to, that's also been starting off slow, but finally being able to wake up, Max, none other than 4Thrives. 4Thrives getting 8 eliminations this last match.
Good to see. Finally, good to see it, especially a lot of those eliminations actually secured on 2 teams that were interesting. You had Team Flash a little bit early on in that game too. That was fun to see how they won that little bit of an encounter. Huzaifa in particular, he carried that fight from start to finish.
Did.
Really good numbers from Huzaifa. But they had a very good early rotation, and you could say a bad rotation from Nongshim Red Force, where they catch them off guard. They didn't expect to clash next to Potato Hill. And you know 4Thrives, right, Nipchira? If they can take a fight and you are in a weakened state, they're going to chase you down until the edge of the earth, and that's what they did, and Nongshim Red Force took a massive L there. So 4Thrives, if you know where they're going to rotate, I would try and avoid them because they don't like having neighbors around them.
No, they don't. And even in this in this state of where we're seeing them of just kind of indecision, I think they don't really know what's going on. But it is nice to see that, yeah, they're still a threat even in this state. And it's just been really difficult for me to actually watch 4Thrives because I'm used to a very confident team that knows exactly what they're doing at all times. And I can tell that they're not sure what's wrong, why this isn't really happening. There's a little bit of the old spark there in this last game, but I think really it's just indecision. They're hesitating just too much.
Did you say like something about T24 going out a lot early recently? Like that's been a big issue, right?
Early. Yeah, and he's one of the big fraggers. He's really up and coming as a big fragger for the team. So for him to go out early, yes, Huzaifa is able to clutch, but you know, T24, they need a 4th player. They need somebody like him on that squad to just stay alive a little bit longer.
Yeah, T24 was able to start slow during groups as well. Then he was able to pick it up. But right here in the finals, you don't want to be starting slow. So that's one team we'll definitely be looking to see bounce back. One team that has been really consistent, especially with eliminations, we talked about it earlier, Lace, is none other than Tiamba. Tiamba just keeps putting up those eliminations in a big way.
They absolutely have, and I also want to add into that, like, keeping up those sort of eliminations. It's also E-Arena. Like, we sort of, like, look at these 2 powerhouse squads, and we're going to have to get a mashup with these 2 teams because they are making it in those top 5 positions. They are clearing their space. They're grabbing the eliminations along the way, even in a fight where I think it was Enigma Galaxy could have pushed E-Arena a lot earlier in their position, but for whatever reason, I'm sure Max will cover it, they didn't sort of get into that contention, but E-Arena just kept making power plays for the spot that they want. Tiamba is also making those power plays to get the position that they want. And obviously early eliminations, especially in today, is what will capitalize you for going into tomorrow. So this steady, I guess, excel in eliminations has been awesome from both of these squads.
Yeah, especially for E-Arena, right? Remember what we saw of E-Arena in day 1 of their Group B? They were able to get those 29 eliminations in Rondo, and then after that, they kind of just ended up dying off us. We're actually going to be looking at a comparison between Group Day 1 and also what they're doing here in the finals. And something that I want you to keep in mind is the placement that this team is currently being able to put up, being able to survive even longer, and the eliminations are even higher because they have been consistent with those eliminations.
They have been very consistent. It's been back-to-back games of just really good placement, good strategy, good synergy with the team as well. They look fairly confident. The lobby is hard. I'm going to say that. It is a very difficult lobby, night and day from the group stage, from the survival stage, but they are handling it very well. I do want to say very quickly, what I loved about the fight with 4Thrives, right? That dip, the way they use the terrain, because there's a bit of a cliff area there. It's a dip, and then you got those 2 cliffs, and what actually they ended up using is they went off the cliff, back behind 4Thrives, and then used that terrain where they couldn't actually see to move around in front of them as well. So it gave the illusion that they were everywhere at once when really they weren't. And for a team that is slightly struggling like 4Thrives, that was just the death knell. So very well played by EA. Good knowledge of the terrain and great synergy overall.
It was a magic trick almost.
It was.
It
really was.
Max, there is something that has been pretty much pissing us off when we talk about Erangel, and that is the hot drops that we're seeing between between Nigma Galaxy and none other than Ida. It's good for Nigma Galaxy right now, but Ida is just, they're just squandering their hopes.
Yeah, I mean, Nigma Galaxy, you saw what we could do when they can actually get out of the hot drop. But here you go, Pachinki, Nigma Galaxy dropping there since the 1990s at this point, and Ida going to be joining up on this one. And initially I was like, okay, Ida, you should not be going for this hot drop. You know as a clear-up fact that Nigma Galaxy will never give up this location. And it's almost getting to the point for me, Niptura, where I'm thinking, Nigma Galaxy, maybe this would be a good opportunity for you to start leaving, because Ida are not just ruining your Erangels, they're ruining your entire tournament run so far.
Yeah, it's really weird, right? Because for Nigma Galaxy, it's like Ida is the newcomers. They need to get out. Clearly, it's not working for them. They have 2 points over the entire day. 1, 2, that's it. But you're right, Nigma Galaxy is ending up ruining their tournament chances as well, because we are seeing really good performances from Nigma. I love how they've been playing, but they're just entering the zone way too late because of Ida.
Yeah, of course, we did say this game was good, right? Because they got out of the hot drop as a 4-man team. They lose a player. I promise you, they do not get a finish like that. They do not get that many points. So right now, Nigma Galaxy, I would say there are other options available, and I understand it's your drop. You've been there for the longest time, but I do not care at this point which team leaves. One team has to leave. This is a waste of time, and it's making me angry, and I'm just looking at that on the early game.
Can I also just interject here and go, Ida, what are you doing? Because this is a team, remember, that got in through the group stage. They were second in their group. They had a fantastic second day. They won like 3 of the games. They were hyper aggressive. We know this is a team that can play very well, but they're wasting everything on a hot drop 3 times in a row. Yeah. Again, they have 2 points. You're not gonna win on 2 points.
And teams are starting to notice this is such a waste of time. Like 4 Thrives, I think it was on one of the Erangels earlier, Niptura, they like just instantly third party it. And now teams are going around Pachinki waiting for the loot truck to come out, because they know no one is going to get that loot truck, because they're so focused on that clash between Nigma Galaxy and Ida. Of course here, big respect, by the way, Nigma Galaxy, the smokes and the way they started pushing these solo players, that was very well executed, but one mistake, one slight error, and you lose a player, and instantly your chances of a win dwindle to almost nothing.
Well, we know exactly what happened when 4 Thrives joined the party, right? Nigma Galaxy lost a couple of players, and then we didn't really see them in that game. They went out fairly early on. They had to full send. Game 1, they had to full send to the beach and just kind of stay there. There was no opportunity for them to get any points whatsoever. So, yeah, for Nigma, this is bad on both sides. I'm mad at Ida for initiating this every single game, but Nigma need to figure out how to adapt to this.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out how to adapt to this. If I had to pick one team to stop hot dropping in Pachinki, it wouldn't be Nigma, because Nigma has been getting the better end of this, especially they showcased what they were able to do in the last match. They're getting the eliminations too, so Nigma Galaxy, keep on doing your thing. If you're Ida, get the heck out of town. You need to find a different spot. But when we're talking about someone, you're gonna pretty much see here just the finish of this engagement between these squads. You know what, Max, Lace, who would you want to see just give up this hot drop between Nigma and Ida?
It's got to be Ida, right? Like
it has to be.
Like, they're not even getting any further into the late game. They should have just made the decision to sort of rotate from this position. I mean, you know, I was kind of touching on, I think, Nigma Galaxy a little bit later into the zone, how they're making slow decisions. But again, this is slowing their decision. But Ida just,
Look, by the way, look on the left side of your screen. While they're still in their looting stage, technically, right? So hot drop's a bit weird, it's a bit different. You have Nongshim Red Force fighting 4 Thrives on their first rotation after the looting stage. This is, look, even here, you have the fight, Orangutan fighting Ulf. Everything is happening in the game. Teams are not going to wait for you. And while that's happening, you're still in your initial drop location and you have no scouting done. The loot truck, you can see on the left side of your screen, he came back for round 2. Round 2, and the fight is still not done. What are we doing?
It's okay, Max.
This is Picado Red Buildings all over again. It's really annoying. It's Picado Red Buildings all over again, Max. I mean, we get so mad at that hot drop, and we still have the Miramars to go. So if either of you hot drop Red Building Picado, I am going to come over to your table, and I'm going to
moonwalk.
Be aggressive. Yes, I'm going to moonwalk.
Look, okay.
I'm going to hee-hee at you very aggressively.
TLDR for the entire segment, we don't like it. End of story.
Yeah.
Unless you're Nigma Galaxy. Nigma Galaxy currently in 3rd place. You have E-Arena right now in 1st place with 48 points. Tiamba continuing on those consistency of eliminations. This is the main story for Tiamba right now. 45 points, 37 coming from the Elims. And if we start going down, we are seeing one team that has been going down as the day has been going on. And it's none other than Aurora, Max.
Yeah, unfortunately, I still have not seen the comeback of Doc, right? I would even take the dockening at this point. I would be like, I want to see something come out of it. But yeah, they've definitely been slowing down quite significantly. Keep in mind, they've got 11 placement points, sure, but they got second place on the first rondo. That's 6 placement points. After that, the rest of the day is only 5 placement points after 3 Erangels back to back to back. Quite disappointing, especially when it's just outside of Ferry Pier. I was expecting way more. They're slipping down, and especially when Ulf now, they just got a 4-man finish. You know, Ulf are going to be chasing for that podium spot.
I mean, for me, I'm not too worried about Aurora right now. They've had a good start to the day or start to the finals, and we do know that this is a team that really waits until the last minute to actually do something. They just do just enough to stay ahead. But the problem is when you're seeing teams like Ulf, like Vitality, we haven't even seen Vitality at their best yet. You know, teams like this that are going to be coming up and gaining that momentum as the days go on, Aurora are going to get left behind pretty quickly.
So you are worried or you're not worried?
I'm on the fence as of right now. At the end of the day, I'll be a bit worried.
Okay, because you say I'm not worried, and then you started sounding very worried to me.
I'm not too worried.
It started to sink in. She's like, oh, actually, this isn't looking too good.
She just kept saying more teams, and I'm like, okay. That sounds like you're contradicting yourself here. 4 Thrives ends up finding themselves here in the first page, but going here towards the second page, we really haven't seen much lays out of S2G. With Furia, it's been a hit of a miss, and then we got some of the other squads there.
S2G are getting busy, right? But they are sort of like losing the contests on these fights. They're able to get the placement points. It's been great. Chicken dinners are coming through, but it's kind of like more of a gifted scenario in a lot of segments. But you've heard me about Fury, guys. I'm not going to go on about that. But what
no driver's license.
I won't carry on about that. But look, I even just want to touch on Vitality. We didn't really get to talk about them. They are playing incredibly scared. So Neptura, after your sort of worried statement, I am also worried in that sense because even in that final zone there, they had the western side to sort of scoop up behind Galaxy, and they did nothing.
Yep. One team that I want to see more out of, especially towards that second page, is none other than Godlike. And I would love to see the player stats so far today because this is a team that a lot of people were expecting to actually finish pretty high. And it has to come with the fragging power of S-Power. And right now, for S-Power, to give him a break, he is the only one that's performing for the squad, being able to average at least 1. But the rest of the squad is just not looking good.
It's looking pretty bad in terms of eliminations, and the reason why the eliminations are so low is look at their survival time. They're not even breaching the 20, and some of the players not even the 18-minute mark, which is not good in a lobby of this caliber if you want to be contending for that, let's say, top 5 situation right now. So Godlike, even looking back on this game, they should have pushed up onto, I think it was Ulf's compound, but they got very idle because the thing is, compared to the group stage where some teams might do mistakes and you might be able to weasel your way in, here you have to take fights head on if you want to have a chance to get very late into those games, get those placement points. Godlike, in a lobby like this, you cannot be hesitant. We've seen in your group stage, you have that raw fragging power from S-Power, from Admino, even Sommei, and Manya is a great IGL, but you need to utilize it and take your chances.
Yeah, what I've noticed is Manya is making these sort of scouting power plays, but the rest of the team is not supporting him, which they're getting caught out. So, I mean, it's surprising to sort of see that level that they're at right now because Manya is making incredible decisions, but it looks like a few other sort of on the team are just kind of tunnel visioning into the wrong direction, and then that's when they're getting caught in.
Yeah, I think also one thing that we really need to think about, or they need to think about, is it seems like they keep going for positions that put them in a position to have to fight teams head on, and they're not succeeding in winning those fights. So if you want to make sure that you're actually going to get a position and be in there in the late game, you know, if you know that you're not really fragging out against these squads in the finals, then stop putting yourself in these tight positions in between teams that mean you have to frag your way out of them. Play a little bit more like Vitality, the way that they're on the edge. Enigma Galaxy as well, they're on the edge. They try to just wait out other teams, take a fight here or there, but just survive and keep their players for later.
Survive. That's the name of the game, all right? Just survive. It's so easy. Why don't you do it, Godlike? Actually, I believe they'll be able to turn it around. It is their first time here at the finals international event for a lot of its players. S-Power, I'm still proud of you, brother. You're still putting up the numbers, and I think you're going to do even more as the day goes on, as the days do end up going on. But for right now, let's send it over to none other than the stylish man, Blank, and our special reporter, Kalaris.
Yes, yes, the stylish man and the short man. I get it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We've got ourselves Mr. Blank here to talk about everything.
Oh, you're my
that's been going
special
on.
little reporter, aren't you?
Right, yeah. I'll try my very best to rise to the occasion.
My special little man here on the stage here.
Shut up and go away. All right, we've got Tiamba to talk about as well, of course, as they have looked stellar in terms of their positioning and how they've been playing the Blank.
Yeah, they have been really, really good. I'm so sorry. I do love you, bro. But honestly, there has been moments where the decision-making has been fantastic. I think that the way that they are speedily going to sometimes their demise is actually astonishingly good, right? Because I think me and Jackie were talking about this. I don't know if you'd agree, but there are times where they'll make what feels like the best decision in a bad moment, right? Where a lot of teams would just stand by and probably get naded and be like, oh, it's over.
Well, Circles haven't been kind to them, so they've been able to kind of fight against some of the adversity. And I think that when you watched as QZZ was able to get MVPs on international stages this year alone, I think a lot of people, including Max and some pundits, etc., wanted extra people to be able to step up to the plate alongside him.
Sure.
Milu's been able to do that like twofold, which has been really phenomenal to watch so far.
Oh, Milu has been amazing.
Yeah.
Milu's been really, really good. It's fantastic to see. I mean, you were talking about it was FMVP for Pmwc, where he was able to get 39 eliminations over 7,000 damage for QZZ. But yeah, they have balanced the load in a big way. I think it's a really, really nice thing as well seeing A-King, because it very much reminds me of the way that Alpha 7 used to play. They're not playing now.
Ignore that bit.
Ignore that bit. Let's just put that to the side for the time being. But yeah, A-King's kind of like the Revo of the team. He plays forward, he plays shotgun for the team. Milu's just very good in those clutch moments. And yeah, the load is spread out very, very evenly across the squad. Eagle is also a great survivalist. I think they have all the tools necessary to actually honestly win this at this point.
As you're talking, you're getting further away. Come back. It's fine. No. Please. Okay,
where's
so
my box?
The thing is, that I think when you look at Tiamba's performance so far, and we can wrap it up on this and move on to our next team, is that double chicken dinner that they got at the start of survival stage, huge revitalization for them to be able to get themselves back on the road again and actually push to be able to find themselves in this state that they're in right now. What do you think?
Yeah, very, very good. I do think that that's what they needed, because the confidence came through. Every time I look down at Milu on the stage, right, it's very...
I like Milu.
I do like Milu. It's very heartwarming because there's... I like it when players are enjoying themselves, and Milu definitely enjoys himself. He's one of the smiliest guys I've seen. QZZ is a little bit more serious, I would say, other than the winning moments where, you know, he almost breaks his fingers on the high fives. That was funny. But I do think that for Milu, it's just nice to see a guy who's so good at the game, but also very much is passionate and enjoys his time in it. And he should be, because he's having an unreal run.
All right, let's move on to another team then, as we have Ulf, who has looked, I would say, towards some of these latest moments, pretty good as well. Obviously, they qualified off the back of having that last game survival win, which was extremely important for their campaign as a whole. And they are one of the teams that a lot of people thought was going to be able to attain those top spots. Right now, their space control is looking good, especially in this last game.
Yes, very much so. I mean, I'm one of those believers. I'm an Ulf believer. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that Eren is one of my favorite players. Ketch also from way back when, MVP in PMPL Season 1.
He's not quite as old as me, but he is pretty
he goes
old. Way back.
He's old, yeah, but he's still got it in him. He's got the grizzled beard, he's a grizzled warrior. But he looks good. And I think that for Ulf, though, that last game was fantastic for me in particular, because we were talking about it backstage, right? And I said, if Ulf wins this game, I want to talk about them. But it was nice for me to be in like stage 6 and really believe in Ulf to actually win the game that they should be winning if they make the necessary movements, which was to take out Tiamba and slowly corral the rest of the squad. So the fact that they did one, kind of a prideful moment for me, because I was like, get in, lads. This is fine. You've got it.
And you liked your prediction.
I did, yeah. Also, I was quite chuffed about myself. Yes, that is right. Okay, 50-50.
Yeah, okay.
Great job, lads. Great job, me.
I think as well, you know, controlling that compound, it actually has great lines of sight on the south side. Any vulnerability normally comes from the north, which actually didn't really exist in that game due to the way the circles were shifting. So they had to turn all their attention to the east as the next main threat. And I think you're right. They prioritized those threats very well from a compound like that. So good stuff by Ulf so far. And let's turn our attention as well to E-Arena, who has looked... It's funny because I'm a little bit conflicted by what E-Arena's been putting up so far. Because even in this last game, I really appreciate the wide wraps that they're doing, but Fourth Thrives had like almost zero opportunity to be able to react to the snowball coming down the hill and, you know, crushing them all. It was tough.
It was tough. I mean, E-Arena is just a strange team right now where I'm not sure if they're really good at the game or very lucky which even they, I don't think, are very sure about this point in time. I remember a time when Schweppes, you know, was sweeping aside the competition. But again, I think eArena just hasn't quite hit that full stride yet.
Yeah.
But they do have the massive potential, Caleb.
He's been able to win twice on the stage in the past, Schweppes, with, of course, Vampire in the past. But anyway, thank you very much, Blank, for joining me here down on the stage. It is time to head on over to Glitter with an update.
Because there's a lot going on in chess today, and a lot of it is very CC heavy. So talk us through what's been going on.
So currently the game going on behind us at the moment is Magnus Carlsen, the tournament favourite, playing for Team Liquid against Nihal Sarin for SAUL.
Okay.
So pretty big game, mainly for Team Liquid. You know, SAUL have popped up across a few games, but not really near the top of the leaderboard. So Team Liquid, I'm not going to pretend like they're near the top at the moment either, to be honest with you.
Fair.
They're probably lower down than SAUL at the moment, but they're expected to get a win here this weekend, considering Magnus Carlsen being the chess player that he is. And he is up 2-0 at the moment as well. So even if he gets one more draw through the next two games, he'll be progressing to the semi-finals. Earlier today, we had the first quarterfinal, which was Denis Lazovic playing against the Na'Vi representative, and he managed to get a win. So that's huge for AGL as well, considering they're trying to keep the top of this leaderboard. They pretty much need to outperform Falcons, which in itself, you know, it sounds kind of doable, but then you realize they've got two players. One of them's already progressed through, and Ali Reza Farouja's kind of playing now and beating his opponent as well.
Okay.
So Hikaru Nakamura already through to the semi-finals, which lines up a Hikaru Nakamura versus Denis Lazovic, AGL versus Falcons in the semi-final.
I mean, to be fair, Dennis was trying to almost preempt the win. He was practicing putting the key into the trophy yesterday. So, you know, maybe that's a good omen?
I mean, the thing is, he was literally putting his opponent's key that he'd beaten in the winning trophy. So it wasn't even his own key. He was like knocking someone out and then putting them on a pedestal straight away. But yeah, it's been a good one over here in chess. You know, there's so many club championship storylines that kind of lay on chess at the moment, considering, you know, AGL have been knocked out of PUBG Mobile, have been knocked out of several other competitions as well. So Team Falcons have to be outperformed by AGL if AGL want to keep that top spot. But then again, Falcons are in Rocket League as well. So they're kind of in a great position to go far in the club championship this week.
And of course, already have managed to secure some points being in the top 4. So it's going to be a very close race is what we're hearing right now. And chess is going to be a big impact on just how close that race for the leaderboard is. We actually have way more matches coming up on the rest of the day. So as we have some more updates, we'll check back in with you, Trev. For now, we're going to say goodbye.
Shout out to the amazing Glitter Explosion and the amazing Trav as well for the Club Championship update. But now going back to PUBG Mobile's esports here at PMWC at EWC 26, we got to talk about Aurora. I would love to see Aurora player stats because there is one player in particular that you're not happy with his performance. You're over here like George St. Pierre, Max. You're like, I'm not happy with your performance. Ooh. That's exactly what it sounds like because for this squad, I mean, they were able to start off hot, but they're just going to keep going down that leaderboard.
Yeah, it's not even just Doc, actually. I feel like I kind of want to see more from Reefus as well. That has kind of like been underperforming a little bit. Even Ziol. Ziol, I can give him a pass because he had some incredible grenades early on Rondo. So sure, maybe it doesn't showcase itself in the stats, but in general, I feel like Ziol has definitely also been pulling his weight. But top, it's been the top show. Getting almost 3